Hello humans. Today I wanted to talk about whatever the flying fuck is in this box right here. Uh, I'm like completely genuinely, obviously the background that I use is my little computer holder, right? And this thing is the same width as it. It is wider than my laptop is by a solid couple inches, this box. It is hilarious to me. It is an Uncle Henry. Anything interesting? A platinum product, whatever, limited lifetime warranty, cancer and reproductive harm, made in China. Oh, don't worry, we'll be able to tell. Box itself's pretty boring. Look, it's like 2 inches away from the camera. 181UH. I'm guessing that's the model. I'm gonna be honest, I just saw this at the store at Canadian Tire and decided it was entertaining enough that I needed to own it immediately. Box is all nicely cardboard. That'll start a fire later. That's actually pretty nice. So, nice box. And then they wrap it in trash bag. Wait, is this a sealed trash? It's a sealed trash bag. Okay, sealed trash bag, which is absolute trash to begin with. A micro pack enhanced P. What the fuck is this? It's recyclable. Something about it just like, I don't know how to describe the feeling, the sensatory response that I just got from that. It's kind of like if you've ever held a piece of silk that hated you. Like, it's not really there, there's no substance to it, but something about it is just causing your body to react violently. That was that feeling. A big old packet of snacks. Remember, eat these, good for you. Obviously don't fucking do that. Wait, okay. Look at this. There's more fucking plastic. So we've got a very nice cardboard box. I give points for cardboard boxes. They're recyclable. You can reuse them, burn them, turn them into a craft project, whatever. A garbage bag, which pisses me off. That's bullshit. We don't need it. It is literally just landfill waste. A random sheet of plastic. The silica gel pack, which is designed to, prevent this from, like, if there's moisture, it'll suck it out, which is fine, fair enough, whatever. You can throw that in the box, though. And then another half plastic bag to cover this monstrosity. Wait, they covered the supposedly sharp blade in plastic. What the fuck? So entirely too much plastic. I just want, like, entirely too much plastic. And this little cardboard thing, does it say anything of value? Caution. I'm not going to read it while it's stuck on there. It's very well glued down, I will give it that. Not to the knife, it's loose on the knife, but it's glued to itself. And look at this glue job. They are actively covering words. Let me just read this. Caution for users and bystanders. I'm sorry, you expect me to show this to bystanders before I use this? Ridiculous. Use everything with approved eye protection from somewhere that's cut off. Why do I need approved eye protection? It's a freaking knife, guys. This is peeling off incredibly nicely. Does anybody understand why I had to get this now? It is so friggin' long. It's thick too. Like, that's probably close to 1/8 of an inch thick. Uncle Henry Charade 181UH, because the Uncle Henry brand doesn't have model numbers. It's a big ass bowie. It's got this, like, is that flat or hollow? It's got a very short hollow grind to it. It's got a clip point blade, a very short clip on this clip point blade. It is mostly nice flat blade with a little bit of belly. It's got these, these, you know it's fake, right? Like, obviously it's gonna be fake. This is an $80 knife, but they feel more fake than usual. Like, here, let me see if I can catch the sound. That's not a sound you want your knife to be making. Oh, and they don't even quite... So this side here, they fit pretty nice to the bolster. I mean, it's not perfect. I can dig my nail in there, but whatever. On this side, see how much of a gap they put there? That is a massive QC issue. The handle, though, honestly, I like this. I actually find this quite comfortable for a handle. The blade is just a ridiculousness. It's full tang, so, you know, you can beat on it proper. Did anything say the blade steel? I got no information about this. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the blade steel is probably like a 7CR or worse. Just, you know, just a guess. This thing is not made out of premium materials with that. And that obvious, just like, too big glue job. There's 2 pins for the bolster, which aren't quite properly sealed, but it's not too bad. Like, honestly, for $80, this thing is a pretty solid knife. I mean, you get no sharpening choil. Not surprising. You get plastic feeling and pretty plastic looking handles. You get, you know, a brass bolster that they're not quite even from the back to the edge. They're not. This one here is slightly further down the blade than this one, which is entertaining. You get, you know, this really short hollow grind on a fairly fat piece of stock. You get, I mean, it's fairly pointy, you know, big old clip point, stab, but let's be real for a second. This thing exists for 2 types of people: wall hangers and wannabe outdoorsmen. Fortunately, I fall into both categories. I kind of want to put this thing, I kind of want to put this thing through its paces next to like a buck 119 or something like that, just to show how crap it is, but I also don't want to destroy it because it's entertaining. The edge itself, so this is cardboard, obviously not paper, yada yada. I mean, you know, there's some rolling and it's not perfect, but there was nowhere on the edge where I felt like it was biting where I didn't want it to. Yeah, it's a little bit toothy, but to be perfectly honest, the edge feels very consistent and fairly well done. Like, as much as I want to rag on it, a lot of the decisions here were made specifically just to save the money that it would cost to make this thing a tier above, and that's understandable, right? They are aiming for 80 Canadian dollars, which is like, what is it now? It's like 4 to 3 conversions, so $60 US, maybe a little bit less now. I don't know exactly where the conversion is, but it's like a $60 US knife, and that makes sense. You're getting a lot of material here. It is not a small object, right? And if you're just going out camping for the weekend, you might need to, you know, clear some bush or something like that. It's not a bad choice. I'm going to get into the sheath in a minute, but the knife itself, it's not a poor choice. It's got, like, the handle itself, I'm actually finding this quite comfortable. There's some QC issues, but whatever. If you're going out camping, you might need to give it to a teenager so that they can go off exploring Davy Jones style, and fair enough, right? Like, I can understand the use case for this. There is one for this. The sheath is, it's nylon with probably cardstock, or, yeah, like, it feels like some kind of cardboard or maybe thin plastic in it, riveted together. It's not great. There's no drainage. Like, you can see there's no hole for drainage, so if you take this out camping. But the belt loop is nice and big. And honestly, I mean, again, $80. It's an object that will do what it says on the tin. And it does, like, it fits in there just fine. It's not going to retain itself, obviously. Yeah, it's not going to retain itself, obviously enough, but that's sort of what you expect from this style of sheath. Ooh, that I like. The pull tab is nice and thick. And if you're right-handed, so you'd wear this on your right side, the tab isn't going to get pulled if you're going through the bushes or anything like that, which, you know, that's pretty good. right? And as much as, like, I do want to dog on how short the grind itself is, which in turn means that the thickness behind the edge, even on a hollow grind, is actually fairly high all the way along the blade. That can be a good thing, right? If you're, just starting to get into outdoorsmanship and just starting to get into that manly man outside pulling up stakes or whatever, it's not awful. Like, as a starting point, that's my conclusion. It's meh. It is perfectly meh. As a starting point, it's fine. As soon as you've experienced like a Moroccan or something like that, you're gonna move away from it. Even like, $80 for $20 more, I could get a 119, a buck 119, and I'm gonna get a better steel most certainly. I'm gonna get more refinement, better quality control, and feel better about my purchase, but it doesn't look as cool, and it's not going to get as many people into the hobby and the interest, right? Buck 119s are classic knives. But there is a rule of cool that is lost. This is going to be picked up by somebody who, again, either is just going out for the weekend, needs something that they can beat on a little bit, whatever, that makes sense. Or it's going to be bought by somebody who sees this and goes, oh, I want to be Davy Jones. Somebody young 20s, maybe teenager, who's going, I want this object so I can go out and be a badass in the woods. And that's a starting point, right? Not everybody has a grandfather who's going to go out and teach them, well, you see, if you strip the birch bark off and chew it, it'll actually make a pretty good healing paste for that rash you got there, or whatever, right? There are skills that you're going to learn. So there are people who are going to get into this hobby and learn these skills through having an interest in something tangentially related, right? They're going to bring this out, they're going to chop some logs, and they're going to go, that was pretty fun. I wonder how I can make this more fun. And they're going to go pick up a more. They're going to go pick up a Hella knife. They're going to go pick up one step further, right? Something from the Joker lineup. They might even get into customs eventually. This is the introductory point. And honestly, as an introductory point, it's pretty solid, right? Like, it's big, beefy stock. It's going to hold up to a relatively okay amount of abuse. You've got enough of a point that you can do that. Just a little bit of belly. I would have liked to have seen more belly, but understandably, there's just a little bit of belly and a comfortable handle. That's going to make the big difference for a lot of people. Having a comfortable handle so that when they start doing feather sticking, when they start trying to split logs or clear bush or whatever they're trying to do, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable. It's going to be more appealing to go back to doing it again. If this is a very uncomfortable handle, like a lot of knives in the $80 range have uncomfortable handles. This isn't that. So that immediately makes it good for the price. Like I said, it's okay. It's a very meh product, but I'm pretty happy with owning this. Honestly, I can give it out to friends when we're going out hiking or whatever and just have a good laugh about it. And it's large and entertainingly so. Like, this is probably 8, maybe 9-inch blade on this thing. Like, it's, almost a hand and a half for me. Yeah, I don't really know how to end this. It's an object, it exists, it entertained me enough to buy it, and honestly, I don't regret that decision, but I'm not overjoyed with it either. Stay safe and have fun out there. Peace.